and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, November 16th, 2017. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here with video number 298 in our regular Tuesday, Thursday morning video series. If you're a regular viewer, then you well know I always start these videos off with a look at the Russell Index. Why? Because I always want to get an overall orientation on the markets and I want to make sure that they are moving higher before I'm adding new names to my watch list. And for that, I use the Russell as my proxy, specifically the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. And I always like to step back to take a look at it on the larger time frame, so I use the 5-year monthly. We've been keeping an eye on this pattern up here. The blue line is long-term support resistance. We're kind of ignoring it for now, and we're really paying attention to the year 2017 and this giant wedge that's taking place. So orange line is medium-term support. The black diagonal line is short-term support. The black diagonal line, worth noting, kept price in on all of these monthly candles through the entire year from the beginning in January. But the candle for the month of September was bullish, pushed us up and over. The candle for the month of October was a teeny tiny one. I'm going to zoom in so you can better see. Teeny tiny one that rested right on top of our trend line, and so far the candle for the month of November is red, so we're kind of taking note of that red candle and watching it carefully. I'm going to move away from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly so we can better see price. So same orange line, same blue line. Here's our black diagonal line. On the week so far we have a doji shaping up. We've been talking about, I drew this minor trend line in several weeks ago, saying that if the Russell's going to keep the uptrend in place, it's going to need to break through that black line. So we'll see if it can or not. I'm filming this at about 10 to 9 on Thursday morning. The futures are up in a healthy manner, so we'll see. But as we noted on Tuesday, so far, price on the Russell is below the 8-day EMA, which is the blue line. We use this as our guide on the weekly chart. The weekly candle closed last week below the 8-day EMA. I'm going to move it from the weekly to the daily. Here's the 6-month daily. There's that same black line that we want to see the Russell move over to continue that uptrend. Yesterday we finished with a doji, but this morning it looks like we're going to open higher. So maybe price will be able to reclaim the blue line. Now, keep in mind we're looking at the daily chart. So this is the daily blue 8-day EMA. If it can reclaim that blue 8-day EMA in the days ahead, that'll be interesting. But we want to know that so far the market overall has been showing a bit of weakness. We've also been keeping an eye on HYG, which is the high yield credit market. So I'm going to move it back a little bit so we can better see the orientation on the chart. So we're looking at the 9-month daily. This to me is a little bit of a proxy for the credit markets overall. So I didn't like to see it sliding like it did, but we're at an area of support. It had a bounce yesterday with some volume, so we'll see if it can continue to show a little bit of strength and some follow through in the days ahead, but that's a big we'll see. And so if we do get that price strength today and tomorrow returning to the markets overall, I wanted to flag for you a handful of past Chart of the Day Cafe picks. I went through my basket this morning and these ones look interesting to me. You know what Chart of the Day Cafe? It is all about the fundamentals underneath these charts, and all of them have really great value scores as well as growth scores. Most of them also pay a dividend. So I'm going to flag those dividends for you as we go through the charts. So the first one is AVGO. As a reminder, we talked about this one on Tuesday. We put it forward back here in 2016. It's had a beautiful run since then, consolidated. The chart looks pretty great here. It's all about, I know everyone has their own way of doing things. I always want to see price up and over that blue with some follow through. So AVGO is one to keep an eye on. Has a dividend yield of 1.54%. The next one, we talked about this one on Tuesday too, is Facebook. We put it forward here as ones to watch and to wait for a move up and over the blue. I'm going to say the same thing here. A move up and over the blue would be interesting for Facebook. Beautiful value score, does not pay a dividend. The next one is Pfizer, which we again featured on Tuesday. Up and over this area of support resistance, sneaking up over the blue. Doesn't have enough authority for me yet to be a buy, but if it really gets going today, Pfizer is one to watch. Current dividend yield is 3.62%. I'm going to add two in the energy space to ones to keep an eye on. The first one is BP, which we put forward at Chart of the Day Cafe. It was one of our featured charts. I'm back here. Just going to turn it into a weekly. Back here in early 17. It's had a nice run since then, and I like the way it's consolidated here and the candle shaping up so far. So let me zoom in a little bit to the 6-month. Doji yesterday. I like this consolidation. I'll be keeping an eye on BP for a move up and over the blue. In the news this morning, I'm going to move away from the charts for a sec to show you there's an article, and this is hotly being discussed in the news today. Norway's $1 trillion wealth fund wants out of oil and gas stocks. So you want to be aware of that before you look at a BP or an energy stock. But when I read this article, it's just a proposal and something that they'd be looking at for 2018. It's not an immediate thing, but wanted to make you aware of it. I'll include the link to this article with today's video. So that's why I wanted to flag that for you when looking at BP. So in an area that may offer some support, I'll be looking for a strong candle moving up and over the blue. Current dividend yield on BP is 6.14%. Wow, that's a wow dividend. And finally, the last one is Total, which was again, like BP, we were featuring these energy stocks earlier in the year. I'm going to go green. Yeah, so we were featuring BP in this area, in this squeezy pattern, moved up and out, and then had this nice run here. I'm going to move it back to the daily. Consolidated, moved higher. It's at an area of support. Wouldn't be too surprised to see Total start to lift here, and we may get that move up and over the blue. We'll see. The current dividend yield for Total is 4.97%. So that's the handful to keep an eye on. With that, I'll leave you. Thanks for watching today's video, and our next video goes out on Tuesday. As a reminder, if you like receiving these videos, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button on my YouTube homepage. That way you get the videos as soon as they are released. I do my very best to screen ever so carefully for the best fundamentals underlying the best chart setups I can find. Have a great weekend.